Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Inner Spark Studios podcast, What Fuels Your Inner Spark. Our intentions for this podcast is to share people's journeys of how they started practicing mindfulness, meditation, and/or spirituality, what kept them going once they started, and what were some adversities they faced along the way. These stories will resonate with someone out there, and helping one person might not change the whole world, but it could change the world for one person. For today's episode, we have Remix, who is part of the reggae group RSNY based out of Queens, New York. RSNY has over 130,000 plays on Spotify. They have traveled and toured all over the world, and their most recent album, The Journey Begins, is the #2 reggae album in the US. They spread love, positivity, and wisdom through their music. With that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my spiritual guru, if you will, but more importantly, my friend, Remix.
Yo, what's up, man? Thank you for having me, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds amazing.
Thank
I can't believe that's me.
you. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to sit down and share your story and your journey and your
Thank you for
wisdom.
having me, bro. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you too. So, yeah, let's start off with how you got started. How did mindfulness and spirituality and meditation find you?
I'll say I really got close. I was always, in a way, feeling or knowing things, second guessing things and things would stand out to me. But it really happened like after I lost my older brother. That's where I'll say I really dove deep and got pushed into it. So I guess through pain, I found some information and something that stayed with me. And that's what made me want to go more and find out more about who we are, who am I, and, deeper about love and care.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's. I'm sorry for your loss, and just pain is definitely one of the things that can draw this to us.
Of course.
What was the, if you don't mind me asking, what was like some of the first questions outside of who we are that like really landed for you?
What were the questions that I had on my mind at the time? That's what you want to know? Well, like after, like, like why, if someone can be kind and cool and all this, like why can this go down? And I was at that time feeling like more in a dark place, and I met a friend, and he shed some light. It's like I said before, it's something that I always had within me. Always felt like to have mercy. I was always taught to have love and faith, but I just really got more more involved when that happened, and my mindset was more about just finding the truth, and if someone else was to go through this, to find some truth for that to help the next person.
What was some of the truths that you found along the way?
Um, that that we're all just reflections of one another. Whether you like it or not, we're all just one big consciousness um, that collects information, and we share it through different perspectives. But the overall thing is to learn, and that we're all unique and special in our own ways. And that same person that you can hate is in a way is a reflection of you. Those things. So it taught me that love is the best power. Even though you can know that, you can still sometimes fall into fear and to think that you don't desire, and let that take over your manifestations.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. What was some of the biggest takeaways to kind of help you kind of get out of the funk that you were in? Like, what was there anything defining that, like, kind of like an aha moment, or was it like a bunch of little things here and there, and then it kind of you slowly built something?
It was little things, like I said, the guy that I met, even that trip that I was on, that was, a blessing within itself. And I got to meet some other spiritual people, and he just taught me about, about the light about, you know, what we all hold. And, you know, it resonated with me, you know, and whether you know it or not, we all have it. So it's just about what are you going to do? Like, that's what it was more like. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this? Are you going to take it and learn something positive and give back? Or are you going to let this change you? Because the person that I was turning into, the vibe that I had, that wasn't me, you know. And it's not like it's not something that you're gonna just catch on to and then it's just gonna happen out of the blue. There's times like a roller coaster. There's times you're gonna be up. There's times you're gonna be down. But the difference is you're just gonna catch on more, and you'll be more conscious and aware of your feelings. You know how to, you know, stay in it. Sometimes being down is not a bad thing. There's things that you can learn from that, as well as being positive. There's things that you can learn from that. It's balance.
Absolutely, absolutely. When my energy is low, I like and it's considered what society may consider a bad day. Like I had a bad day. I've kind of flipped that for me, and I call them growth days. Because
Mm-hmm.
those are the days where I learn so much about myself and ways to get up, to get out, or just sometimes it's just sitting there and just laying down,
Yeah,
just letting it flow,
yeah,
allowing whatever it is to just be and not fight it.
yeah. Or just sometimes just sometimes what I learned is everything is good. Everything is good. Everyone's smiling and everything. They're about what they're studying or what they're trying to be. They're about that at that time. And then sometimes when chaos just comes and kicks us in our butt, you know, at times then we'll forget those things that we know in our hearts is the way, and we'll just succumb to the fear. So as I see it as we're humans, so you're allowed to feel fear because fear is real because it's something that we create. It's real, but as long as you don't succumb to the fears and you digest it, it could be for a day, it could be a week, maybe whatever. Everybody is different, program different. Um, and you let that sit, and once you're out of that, and you just like thinking about the good things that you have, and more, you find more things to be grateful about, just more gratitude. It just changes. I don't know how. It's like having a crazy storm, and then out of nowhere, just bright and sunny sky. you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So I want to keep going and ask you about what is your inner spark? What is it inside of you that you keep fueling and that gets you through day in and day out?
I'll say the like adventure, like never knowing what's gonna happen. Like my life is random, and everyone else got random lives, but like in a way, I try to plan, but I don't. In a way, if that makes sense, because one minute I could be doing this, and then the next minute I'm doing that. So it's like it's a beautiful bliss at times. So and then there's times when I'm like, whoa, the hell is this? But I gotta see here and understand, or I just take it in. So I feel like my spark is just it's the taking the vibe, with other people and learn different cultures, different people, different things, and find the oneness within each other. I love that the most out of everything. That's my spark.
Nice. I love that. I absolutely love that. Out of the places that you've toured or visited, just outside of the tour life,
Hmm.
what was a culture that really stood out to you, or a place?
I'll say California stood out to me. Down in Mendo, California, around there, and San Francisco, because it's just so much different people. Whether it was Japanese guys, white guys with long locks, and they're more. I looked at like they're more, into the culture, like the reggae culture and stuff, like more than me, and other things. They're more deeper, and just to see the bond that you didn't know these people from in a hole in the wall, and now you're like best of buds, and anytime you come down, you have to see them like they're like family. And you know, a lot of people I met do music like that, but I'll say California has a little special bond with RSNY, with the music and the connection of the one. It's
Nice.
everywhere, you know. Africa, I'll shout to Africa, shout to Sweden, shout to Chile, those places. But I never been there yet. Hawaii, but you know, I'll say where I touched, California.
Nice. Nice. Talk to me about the reggae culture.
Um, just to know it's peace and love, you know, and you know what else goes on with it. But it's just about a vibe, you know, everybody doing what you do, and just one love. And it's nothing like it when you see a bunch of people, like a rainbow of people, just enjoying a vibe with the message. You know, and don't get me wrong, it's cool to have beats. It's cool to have certain hip hop and trap songs and vibes, but when you have that mellow vibe like that, everything is good, and we're just singing and celebrating life. That and the foods and stuff is just nice. One love, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When RSNY kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of switched a little bit more uh, to their music being more about love and positivity.
Mhm.
Did you see any change in the audience that you guys were reaching with
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Because at one time when we were rapping and whatever, even though even in the rap we were teaching, it's just still more a younger genre in a way of like hype. That more people are on that. Reggae is a culture that's like fine wine. As the time goes on, things are better, and people appreciate. You know, so we make our music to have value. It always did have value because if you listen to certain rap songs or whatever that we done, it held value. But like the reggae, it's like solid value. It's like one of those books that you're gonna have to go back. Your kids can go back and listen to that and go, wow, you know. And that's the biggest blessing. Like to just know that if I was to die tomorrow, you know, someone can hear this song or this song, that song, and it gets them out of whatever thought, whatever mindset, and that's better than anything else, you know.
Absolutely. Being able to help someone while doing something that you love and
Love,
enjoy,
yeah, yeah.
like,
You don't understand like that. That's crazy to me. Like when people come and say this song changed my life, I was feeling like this, and you just say to yourself like, "Whoa, this is something that came from my brain." I just put it out because it was a vibe, and even though I was thinking in that way, to see that somebody else understand and feel that, and I can be a spark to help that, not me myself, but the RSNY unit be a spark to help and push that. It's like, damn, we're like defenders of love, you know, and the warriors of light. I love that.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, out of you've performed everywhere in front of tons and tons of people. What is your mindset pre-performance, during, and post-performance?
During
Like what's going through your head?
before I'm on stage, the whole thing is where my mind is. I'll hold a little meditation towards myself, and I'll visualize the crowd and what I want to what my intentions, what I want my intentions to be. And most of the time, I want them to catch on to the message, to enjoy the life, enjoy this moment, you know, and share it with someone else. Get the message, not just let's not just jump up and down and make and woo for 2 seconds, but let's hold something and get value. Let's push this thing called love. Let's rise that vibration. So once that gets in, and I see that that message is connecting like that, and at the end, every time we end the show, we always try to get the crowd to scream love as loud as they can. You know, like so, like we're just turning up that frequency, and it's so amazing to see at the end of it, people just smiling, people want to greet you, and you know, just because they felt that energy, like whatever they were going through, that's null and void, and I like that.
Nice, nice. What about a post-performance? After everything's done, after everyone yelled love and you're riding a high, what's it like afterwards? Like,
Oh man.
does your mindset have to be almost a little bit? Do you have to almost kind of protect your energy a little bit?
Um, no, like right after I let people, like we'll meet people or whatever, and then you just vibe and get to know them, whatever. But after all that's done, after we're meeting and we're vibing, and then we're back, I'm back with the group. I try to bring everything back into me and close that down. But while I'm there, I allow everybody to share. You know, like so I know you sometimes you're supposed to close down and whatever. I like to keep sharing or whatever, especially when it's positive energy. I like just to keep it going. And I'm a type person, once we having that vibe, it's something that could be for 15 minutes and turn out to be a 2 hour conversation, you know? And not just me, my brothers as well.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you say like you kind of close down and kind of go into you afterwards, what does that look like?
Now that's me meditating and it's like, bringing back all the focus and energy back onto me. So bringing back the attention to me. So while I'm performing, I'm just looking at myself as a vessel. You're doing work for the higher cause, which is love. So if I'm trying to spread that, I have to give the people me, and in return for the people, for me to have the energy, they got to give me something back, you know.
Mm.
So after that, I have to. It takes because it's not just you putting out that energy. So after a while, you got to bring it all back to you. So
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
just me just seeing my energy flowing back. I just get in my chill zone, meditating, and just see. I analyze what happened. I reflect. I give thanks. I look at the things that I'm grateful for, and I just bring it all in. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
No.
that's it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, before or after, do you and the rest of the guys do you guys meditate together or at all?
Yeah, yeah, we do. Not as much as we used to, but there's times when we come together and meetings just to bring the energy right, or get the energy focused on one particular thing. The journey begins. That was like a meditation.
The making of it, like creating the songs, writing the songs.
How it's supposed to sound,
Mm.
everything.
Have you ever performed in front of your daughter Chloe?
No.
No, not even like in the house or anything. Like to
No, of
get her,
course.
kind of get her approval.
No, of course she sees things, and she knows. She's always known, but she never see me perform professional. Yeah, she see me in the house,
Yeah.
between me and her. Yeah, but she
Well,
never seen Remix the guy.
gotcha, gotcha. Does she give you some strong criticism or
Uh,
constructive criticism?
her thing is that she can do it better. She should be singing or whatever. That's her
Uh,
thing.
yeah. Now, when it comes to your daughter and touring around the world, how do you stay present with her when you do have time with her?
I just do whatever the things that she wants to do. Like, I enjoy simple things with my daughter. Just watching her draw, or me and her going on the beach and going on the boardwalk or riding bikes together. It could be whatever. She showed me her little dance routine or videos that she made. That's how me and her like really stay connected. We just always try to share little moments or tell each other about what's going on in our lives.
Awesome, that's beautiful, beautiful. What about like when she was younger? Did you have to kind of adjust?
Yeah, of course. When you're a new dad, But I always look at it like this: there were people here before me, and when you're on a mission, you have to, some certain things you can't. Everybody wants to be around their child or their family 24/7, but you know, you have a mission, you have a journey. There's things that you have to make time for. Everything has times and moments. Because I'm an individual, she's an individual, you know. So that's how that works.
No, definitely, definitely got to take care of you to take care of her.
Take care of her, of course.
Yeah,
I have to love myself and do right by myself in order to do right by anybody.
hmm
You know.
Do you have A mentor that you kind of look up to?
Oh, I have lots of mentors. A lot of people I look up to. Some people don't even know that I look up to them. You know, I look up to people for all types of reasons. It could be leaders, for for um, for all types of reasons. Guys that just don't back down. You got guys that just overcame this. You know, we can go on. I got all types of leaders. I don't know where you want to start.
How about a mentor that maybe some people don't wouldn't think that would be a mentor of yours? Like someone who's just like low key type mentor.
Met or never met?
Up to you. Both.
I never met. Mentor. I have this thing for Warren Buffett,
Mhm.
and Jeff Bezos. The reason why Jeff Bezos, this guy created Amazon, you know, from used books, and he is what he is today. And it's just outstanding to see someone take the vision, building something so broad, and always believing and understanding his vision, no matter what was going on, no matter who didn't believe. And I think that's amazing. A mentor that I have met, his name is David Angelo. He runs a firm, an ad agency in California. One of the big ad agencies does things for Kia. He did the thing for. He made the slogan, "Hey, you never know, Lotto." That's my guy, and it's more like he lives it. You know, I call him the spiritual warrior, and it's an honor to have him as a friend, and many other guys, other people in the tribe. That's my mentor, but I say he's like one of the big standouts for me in the last 3 to 4 years.
What are some pieces of advice, or what is it about David that stood out to you?
David walks it. David is the one who told me the quote, "Do what you fear and watch fear disappear." He's the one who actually like turned the screw that needed to be turned, and he exposed me to seeing different truths. Like let's call him my Morpheus. I'll be Neo. He's Morpheus. He gave me the pill and showed me, you know, like this is what it is. It's love or fear. What do you choose? And once you choose love, you're gonna see things like this, you know. So go with that. He just walks it, and everything about him, he's like walking love, you know. He just has that vibe. It's very hard to explain. One of a kind, genuine, sweet guy.
When he said that quote about fear, do what you fear and watch fear disappear, did that kind of have you kind of dig deep into yourself to find out what it is that you feared? And if
Yeah,
so, what
because
was it?
my thing was, you know, you get taught that. I believe that fear was, you know, oh, this guy's afraid of this guy, or afraid to speak to this girl, or afraid of heights, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't think fears were things that we'll create, and everybody has fear. So when he's speaking like that, I'm like, I don't fear shit, you know. And he was just showing, like, making it, he just bringing it out, like bringing it out, making it very simple, and showing that you do have fears and blocks. And I'm just more aware of what was going on, you know, things that you put out there, and that helps a lot when people can be aware or see something from a different point of view or a
Yeah,
different understanding.
yeah. 'Cause I remember one of our early conversations, not early conversations, but when I started getting into this, and you and I started talking, and then you kind of, and it was like, Junior's the man. He performs in front of people like it's nothing, you know. And then I believe you kind of went into a little bit about.
Having some fear sometimes or whatever, but the way that I work that out, like, you know, is not to think about what I don't want. Like, why create that vision of something I don't want? So I just try to hone in on keeping the vision of what I want. And as Dave said back then, he told me, you know, look at it as a movie. You know, you're the director and the star, the co-star, and this guy, the milk guy in it. You're the dog, the cat, the tree, the grass, and then when you understand that, that means that you can write it as you want it to be. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of our conversations around fear is like, help me to do this. To put my face out there, really for the first time, as I'm more behind the camera guy. But
Yes.
like a lot of our conversations around fear and being in front of people and putting ourselves out there, conversations between you and I has helped me.
Yeah, because I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. Just people have to be aware that sometimes we project our fears into our future, the past fears into today, what's going on today, and it has nothing to do with that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Did you have it with when it comes to this the quarantine right now and the COVID? Were there any fears for you there?
Um, I wouldn't say I was in fear of it. I was more hoping that us as as the people didn't dive into fear and a scarcity mindset, because like I said earlier, we're all one. So yeah, you can be on a positive vibe and a positive mindset, and but you can feel that energy when it shifts, you
Mm.
know. So that say I didn't want, yeah, you could say it was a slight fear that did come across my head, but that, just only that.
Just that like the energy of the people would kind of
Yeah,
be brought down.
yeah, and then it'll push more disease, more destruction, more disaster.
Yeah, not enough ginger shots.
Yeah, of course, and they have to get on that. Natural is the way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because I know like the scarcity mindset that you were talking about. A lot of your Instagram stories or your posts are you saying that you have it, like it's yours
Hmm.
already. I think the other day you were driving by mansions and you're like, it's already mine.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
have
like
to know that
that's
like these things are. So it's one thing in common with everything in the world. It's everything that you look at is a thought.
yeah.
It's a thought, So me and you all speaking through this, that somebody had a thought that people should be video conferencing and doing things like this, and it should be mobile, it should be accessible, we can all move. Back when we were kids, this was a thing that we seen in the Jetsons, and we're using it today.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it all starts from a thought, and once you can comprehend that, just like you and I, we're thoughts. We came from thoughts, before the process started. It was a thought.
What advice along the spiritual side of things would you give to people who overthink?
Don't overthink. Just, create the things that you want. There's things that you can't control. And like basically, you can be positive all you want. That doesn't mean positive things is gonna always happen to you or for you. But the way you react to it will be positive. That is the difference. So yeah, things will be going bad, da 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 da, but you will snap out of it faster, only because your mindset won't allow you to stay down. You'll be in the rough, and you say, whatever. But after a while, you know that in a way you have that control, and that's the blessing that we all have. We have that control to say no more, and actually make it into what we want. You gotta want it. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. Nobody else can see it and feel it and believe it for you. You have to yourself have to be on
Absolutely, that's some great advice there, for sure. During this the COVID and the quarantine and everything, what has it meant for you? Like, what benefits have you taken from it, or what has it taught you about yourself?
it. Benefits I learned from COVID, I'll say. I seen people caring again. I seen things slowing down, and people start to recognize what was important and things that wasn't important. Togetherness. I seen more people being together with their family more. People showing more love. You see how people show more love? By keeping distance. There's so many birthdays, weddings, funerals, and things that people had to go through, and they had to keep distances because they love someone. I seen selflessness. whether it was cops, delivery guys that's delivering food, janitors, bus drivers, garbage men, doctors, nurses, putting themselves out there to go help other people, while they can catch this thing and die. So that's the lessons I learned, that, we're bigger than anything that's a threat to us, because us as a people, as one, when we really get back to the basics of what matters, can nothing defeat us. And that's the positive that I got out of COVID.
Absolutely. One of my favorite quotes is from the Daily Stoic book, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's looking up at the night sky and realizing just how small we are is a daily antidote, is a much needed antidote to everyday pettiness.
Mm.
I believe something around that sort. Essentially, that look how big this world is, and look how small we are,
Mm-hmm.
and we're worried about the littlest things.
And it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, in
It
the
doesn't
grand
matter.
scheme of life, you're worried
Yeah.
about something so little.
Mm. It's nothing to worry about. Once you got life, you have everything. So
Yeah.
stop stressing and count your blessings.
Yeah. Was it like 400 billion to one that we were
That
born?
Yeah, you gotta look at it like this. you live every day, right, and only die once. That's just the reality. And then when you die, you don't die.
Mm-hmm.
The body dies. The
That's it.
consciousness,
Yeah.
the energy is still around.
The spirit,
Yeah.
everything keeps going.
Yeah, you feel, you think about people, it lives. So that's the tricks, and that's the things. That's where you let fear take over. That's where it becomes tricky and hard and complicated. But when it's simple, it's easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There was a post on your Instagram that you had a couple of weeks back that I read that said, "I am grateful that the only validation I need is my own." Can you go into a little bit more further detail about that and how it may have shifted your perspective on life, where you realize that you didn't need anyone else's validation or approval other than Chloe's?
I'll say when I was younger, I was always like the smallest guy, and there was this other small guy that played basketball, and he had the opportunities to do certain things, and I felt like I should get picked. I should get picked too. This guy's there, I should get picked too. And I learned very early it wasn't about things being equal or fair. So I used to always try to do things throughout my elementary years and junior high school years, especially with basketball, to try to get fit into a certain group, to run with the A1 guys, as you should say,
Mm-hmm.
And the time when I just left that alone, and I would be practicing with my brother and younger guys and other friends on my block, and just stuck with them, I got better. And by the time it was like we getting out of junior high school, going into high school, felt like I was better than a lot of them, and it was easy. I got better and better. And then every time in life, as I became a dancer, that was the same situation. I started small, and other guys that they looked up to, and then before you know, me and my guys are the big guys. We started promoting. It's the same thing. With music, it's the same thing. So if you keep catching it, you're doing something, you'll catch on and go, hey, it was never these people. It was never this, it was never that. It was me. Once I believed so hard, I could just throw away what you could think about. It's cool what you think or the idea of what you have, but that's not what it is. So the only validation I do need is my own. Once I believe what I believe, and once I know, and I'm not lying to myself, I don't need to prove it to you. I don't need you to see it. I mean, if you do, it's just more energy and more power to it, but I don't need that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that thing can come off, in a way like fully yourself or cocky, but it's
Hmm.
not. It's more just being confident and walking with and talking with faith.
Yeah. Would you say that receiving validation is essentially caring what people think?
I
Or
mean,
is
there's
those like
nothing.
two different, are they two different subjects?
I'll say, yeah, validation is a good thing because we all do like to hear someone say, yeah, that's a good idea or whatever, but it doesn't really matter from the outside when you're dealing from within. Everything's come from within, and then if you believe, because like I said, we're all connected. Once you believe, people believe. But if you're moving timid or you're moving in a scarce mindset, people can also feel that. And what you truly need to show, they probably can't see it because of you questioning yourself.
How does meditation help with um, essentially knowing that what you feel and what you know is all that matters?
Because you quiet the mind and you try to quiet the ego. Once you quiet your mind and ego, you deal with what you want and what you want to get out of it. And quieting the mind and ego, it shows you, you know, and what you feel, you know what you love, you know your purpose, and you know the things that you naturally go to.
How would you describe the ego? I know it's a very
The
broad question, but
the ego is fear based. The ego is a fear based thing. It's insecurity. It's and when you're in a state of lack, ego is a good thing to have. There's times when you do need ego, you know, to step out and be confident and all that. But it's all thin lines. It's all thin lines. You know, you don't want to be egotistical. You don't want to do things from the ego. You don't want to do it. You know, make decisions and goals off that. There's times where you need to feel very confident about yourself. You know, and at the same time, you look at so high at yourself, but you don't look at no one beneath you.
mm,
You feel what I'm saying?
the ego has become looked at as like as yourself as like the one and only, like the master of
Yeah,
everything, the
yeah. You
knower
know
of
all.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Where does and why does the ego do that? Like, why does it, in a way, try and keep you safe?
It's toward behavior and affairs. You know, toward behavior and affairs. Like you projecting something that didn't even happen. You know, so you have to show your ego or whatever insecurities.
So the ego helps with that, the overthinking of creating stories that didn't even happen or you have no idea any information about. It helps create the false narrative.
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times more. That's what I feel. Like you'll be over. You do things. You just it's not you. You're not in the and you end up saying I'm sorry a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like
It's
you
not. It's
know,
not who you really are. It's not who you are. And like you can't get ego and your higher self confused. The higher self is just when you're very loving and kind and you're confident, but none of the other things. Like I said, you're up here and no one's down here. You know, that's the level that we want to be on. That no one can chip me. You know, no one can throw rocks and hurt me. But at the same time, I can understand this person's pain. I can have sympathy and empathy. I can understand. I can see where they're coming from. And if I can't, I will learn to understand.
mm, I love that. Yeah. All right, I got before we wrap up, I got one more question for you.
Oh shit, bro.
If you were to write a letter, a thank you letter to mindfulness, meditation, and spirituality, what would it sound like for you?
It'll sound like, thank you, mindfulness, for taking the time out to choose me and to to look at RSNY. Thank you for spreading love, positivity. Thank you for being a defender of the light. Thank you for thinking outside of the box. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for pushing love. Thank you for pushing mindfulness. Thank you for taking your time out to give back to yourself by giving to others. Remix. RSNY. Bless up.
I like that a lot. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Could you go a little bit more into that?
Sharing, you're sharing your perspective. You're sharing. You're allowing other people to share. You know, you're sharing your time. You're sharing your views. You're trying to give somebody something, and that's always caring and dope. How could you go against that? You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Remix, I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. You know, you always got a smile on your face, that's for sure. And so I thank you, and until next time, keep feeling your inner spark.
All right, bless up, my bro.
Bless
Love.
up.